Американская фирма Transceptor Technology приступила к производству компьютеров «Персональный спутник».
Hi, Joe. Hi, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, Mary?
Good.
I thought I'd jazz things up with some music today because we got the power.
Ah, I can't hear it.
You can't hear it? You hear me, but you don't hear the music?
No,
That's interesting.
I can hear it a little.
some
I
background
stopped the share on the
noise.
screen, but I figured it would at least come up on the microphone. If I do this,
Yeah, I can hear it now.
Okay, yeah.
You don't want that.
I was lip syncing to it earlier. Not very well, I bet. Here's Calvin. Calvin, we got the power. But we're white guys. We don't got the rhythm.
You got rhythm. Hold on for a second. I like that. How's it going?
All right, so I got to stop that before it plays the next song. Oh. All right, we got it now.
Michael, this is your sister?
This is my sister Joe. Yes.
I'm Michael's
Oh,
sister.
Everybody,
nice to meet you.
nice to meet you all.
Where do you live?
I'm living in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my sister used to live there.
Oh, really? Whereabouts?
It was years ago. She's in
Oh.
she's in Sarasota now, but I think one
Oh.
of her kids might still be in Fort Myers. I forget.
Sarasota's really nice, very artsy. Great
Yeah.
art scene.
Yeah, my parents live there, which is what brought her over there.
Yeah,
But,
it's nice.
That's where I'm retiring. I already decided.
Longboat Key. That's the place to be.
Yep, that's what I'm hearing.
Well, yesterday was rain and thunderstorms all day, and so far it's been the same today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Aw.
Lee County is the thunder and lightning capital of the world, they say.
It was brutal this morning. I was thinking we'd lose power because we always lose power, but we didn't, so.
Well, that's good. Well, we'll get started here. If people come in, and we'll just let them in as they come in. I noticed a lot of people watch the Facebook video afterwards. So, we want to continue on, so because we are recording. And so we want to say to everybody, welcome to day 2 of the Strengthen Your Immune System and Beat Type 2 Diabetes 5-day challenge. Today is day 2, and we're excited because we have a great presentation for you. Mary Branson, a certified holistic health coach, shared a little bit of her presentation with me last night, and it is very comprehensive, and you'll get an awful lot out of it, especially if you or someone you love is suffering with type 2 diabetes. I mentioned yesterday that, my brother Tim passed away back in 2014 from complications from diabetes. So it can be and is a devastating disease, and the numbers in the US are just staggering, and they continue to go up. So we as a people have to take the power, and that's why we played. We got the power because we do have that power. Most of type 2 diabetes cases are self-inflicted, unfortunately. It's our habits, our diet, our surroundings, all those things play a part in it. And so the only way we can really overcome it is by using our power and changing the way we do things and making our health better. So that's why we're here as a group. There's good power in a group. We have a Facebook group where you can join, share your story, comment on other stories, look for accountability from other people, so that when you're doing steps like now today, you should all be looking to drink 64 ounces of water a day. That's the first step. It's a great step to flush your system out, to detox your system. And we learned that alkaline water is the best hydrating water that you can drink. So if you have that choice, that's one you should probably try to make. But either way, you want to drink water and get away from the sugary juices and sodas that we all love to drink because they taste so good, but they aren't good for us, especially if we have pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes. So I'm just going to share my screen just for a minute, and we're going to just do a quick little recap from what we did yesterday. Come on, screen. It doesn't want to play for me. Well, you can see the slides anyways, right? Oh, there we go. All right, so this is day 2. Day 1 was the 5-day preview and hydration. We are all looking to build our immune system because that's where it all starts. We have a great mechanism right within our body to protect us. It is our immune system. So the more we can do to boost that and strengthen it, the better our health will be. And there are a lot of things you can do to boost your immune system. Your body has the most natural and powerful protection against invaders. Your subconscious mind controls your immune response. So you do have that control within your subconscious mind to heal yourself. Glutathione, which we'll learn about tomorrow, is the catalyst for protecting against the invasion. It's what's called the master antioxidant. Building and strengthening the immune system naturally is a worldwide movement. This pandemic has set people in motion to look to take control of their own health and their health destiny. So yesterday we talked about proper daily hydration. Today Mary's going to talk about healthy nutrition. Tomorrow we're going to have glutathione, the improving your performance of your antioxidants with glutathione. Regular exercise and 8 hours of sleep are vital as well to your immune system. If you're getting less than 6 hours of sleep a night, they say that you're fooling yourself if you think you're getting by, healthily. If you're not getting at least 6, probably better to get 8 hours of sleep. You're not doing yourself any favors. Stress reduction through meditation or quiet times daily, reflection, those are all good things for your health, both mentally and physically. Yesterday we had Nick Lascalzo filled in for Chris, who was originally going to do the water presentation. And as you learned from Nick, he recovered from a serious ulcer and colitis condition that he had by drinking alkaline water. 64 ounces a day is the recommendation. And the homework assignment, which we forgot to give, was drink 8-ounce glasses of water a day. And that's what you should do going forward. So now we've got Mary, who's going to do her presentation on nutrition and good supplements that will help you with your nutrition. And, you know, I've known Mary now for a number of years, and Mary knows her stuff. If I could just get my mouse to work here, it's not behaving for me. Come on, mouse. Did my screen stop sharing?
Yes. I just need you to give me host privileges so I can share
I
my
will do
screen.
that. Okay, so I just got to get back to the presentation. So Mary, we're gonna give you host privileges, and once you're finished up, you can return those to me, and we'll wrap things up. So here you go, Mary. This is Mary Branson, certified holistic health coach. Take it away, Mary.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, let me just get my, okay. Can you see this presentation? Oh, you're muted.
Yes, we could see it.
Okay, perfect. All right, so today I am talking about diabetes, what it is, and how to prevent or treat it. And points to cover, just some general information on diabetes. How does one prevent diabetes? Is diabetes reversible? That's a question that a lot of people are asking. And I'm going to give you some simple tips to not only help prevent and manage your diabetes, but a simple way to give your body even more nutrition than you're currently giving it. So what is diabetes? So a simple definition is it's a condition in which the body does not properly process food, excuse me, for use as energy. Most of the food we eat is turned into glucose or sugar for our bodies to use for energy. The pancreas is an organ that lies near the stomach and makes a hormone called insulin to help glucose get into the cells of our body. So with type 2 diabetes, the cells of the body fail to respond to insulin normally. So there's a difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. In type 1 diabetes, the body actually lacks the cells which produce insulin. So it occurs when your immune system, the body's system for fighting infection, attacks and destroys the insulin producing beta cells of the pancreas. Type 2 diabetes is a little different. It's an impairment in the way the body regulates and uses sugar as fuel. It's a chronic condition in which there's too much sugar circulating in the bloodstream, and eventually high blood sugar levels can lead to many complications, such as in your circulatory system, your nervous system, and your immune system. And if you look at the graphic here, on the right, where my arrow is pointing, my right, insulin moves the glucose into your cells. So this is a normal depiction. There's no resistance. The insulin is able to easily move that insulin into your cells to be used for fuel. But in insulin resistance, there's way too much glucose. So the glucose becomes the insulin becomes resistant, and the glucose cannot move into the cells properly in order for your body to use it as fuel. So you have too much blood sugar in your bloodstream and not enough in your cells to be used for energy. So there's many causes for diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is mainly genetic or caused by environmental factors. So in some cases, there really isn't a lot you can do to help prevent against type 1 diabetes. But type 2 diabetes is absolutely presentable. And unfortunately, the main cause of type 2 diabetes is obesity. It causes hormone resistance. It keeps the cells from getting as much insulin as they need. And 90 to 95% of type 2 diabetes is caused by obesity. So that is definitely something that we have in our control. And related to that, if you do have obesity, you're not very physically active. And if that happens, you fail to raise your heart rate to boost your metabolism. The body has little incentive to work off your consumed calories. So it's really important to get some physical activity in to raise your heart rate to help keep your glucose levels lower. And in pregnancy, if you end up with gestational diabetes, you are much more likely to develop type 2 diabetes. You do have a greater risk. So type 2 diabetes used to just be an adult disease. It used to just typically affect overweight individuals. But unfortunately, there's been an alarming uptick in the number of American children diagnosed. And this is mainly due to obesity. Many kids are inside today playing video games, watching TV. They're not active like they used to be. And that's really causing a huge problem for kids as well. There are many complications of type 2 diabetes. It causes people who are diabetic tend to live less, die at an earlier age than people who don't have diabetes. It can affect your heart. People are more likely to get a heart attack or have a stroke. Nerve damage is very common, kidney failure. So there's a lot of complications with type 2 diabetes. So we really need to try to manage it or prevent it if we can. In prediabetes, there are a lot of warning signs, but people don't notice them right away. So a lot of times you can be pre-diabetic and not even know it. So some of the warning signs are urinating too often. Your blood sugar rises, your kidneys have to work harder, they produce excess urine, and your kidneys get overworked. That leads to dehydration. Yesterday, they talked about how important hydration was. You have a lack of liquid in your body and it causes all kinds of problems. Vision is just one of them. You're depriving your eyes and all of your organs of the necessary fluids they need. So it's really important to look out for these warning signs. And some diabetics or pre-diabetics actually lose weight because the body still needs energy. So it breaks down fat and muscles, and that can cause ketoacidosis, making your blood more acidic. Excessive hunger because your sugar isn't being used appropriately. It can't convert your food to energy, and you're constantly tired or fatigued with high or low blood sugar. And then the dangerous one that may not be reversible is diabetic neuropathy. So it's really important to try to prevent that from happening. And then dental health, if your mouth is not healthy, the rest of your body will not be healthy. That's where germs and bacteria enter your body, and it can weaken your immune system. And then just poor healing, high blood sugar slows the healing process, and then your overall immunity is definitely affected. So you're more susceptible to infections. So if you do have diabetes, there are steps you can take to manage it. If you are taking insulin, just make sure you rotate that injection site, join a support group, take time off if you need it, because you will be extra tired. Stay informed, talk to a healthcare specialist, practice good hygiene before and after your testing. And then if you do go to a restaurant, try to choose healthier foods that are salt-free or reduced sodium. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But the main way to manage your diabetes or even prevent it from happening in the first place is improving your physical health. So we really need to stay active as much as we can. Mike talked a little bit about proper sleep, and nutrition really is key. So staying active, there's lots of things you can do, like jogging or yoga is beneficial for your mind and your body. Weightlifting can increase your happiness level, any type of exercise, because it increases the feel-good hormones in your brain and it decreases the stress level, the cortisol. So any type of exercise or yoga is really beneficial. Taking walks, breathing exercises, and then working your muscles more often makes them work harder. And it improves their ability to use the insulin and absorb the glucose. And that puts less stress on the insulin-making cells. So really try to stay as active as you can. And as Mike mentioned, getting plenty of sleep is critical. No amount of vitamins, minerals, or exercise can substitute for a good night's sleep. You should really, the sweet spot really is 8 hours. And I was happy to learn that you can make up for lost sleep on the weekends. So if you feel like it's impossible to get a lot of sleep during the week, you can try to make up for that. But sleeping too much on a daily basis is not good for you either. 9, 10, 11, 12 hours a day can really increase your risk of a heart attack. So that sweet spot really is about 8 hours of sleep a night, if at all possible. But I think the most important thing is proper nutrition. Your diet accounts for 80% of your results. So a great diet is critical. And we're really aiming for a plant-based diet, rich with fruits, vegetables, grains, nuts, seeds, spices, and the right oils. And I'll talk about why those are important. And if you must eat meat or fish, if you cannot live without it, try to choose lean meat such as chicken or turkey. And always, 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 I can't stress this enough, choose wild caught fish, never farm raised. Farm raised has all kinds of chemicals and pesticides and just harmful things in farm raised fish. So please choose wild caught if at all possible. The good news is diabetes is largely preventable, as I said before. If you can keep your weight under control, exercise more, and eat a healthy diet, you definitely can prevent getting diabetes. Here's just a few facts and statistics before we go into the healthy eating habits. If diabetes were an infectious disease, meaning if you could spread it from one person to another, it would be called an epidemic. The numbers are just staggering how high those numbers are rising. And rising rates of childhood obesity is causing diabetes to become more common in kids. Pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes are largely preventable, so that's good news. 9 in 10 cases can be avoided by making lifestyle changes. So that is something we have in our control. And you can lower your risk of heart disease and some cancers by staying lean and active. So it's actually a win for your whole immune system and preventing lots of chronic illnesses. And if you already have type 1 diabetes, you can prevent or lower your risk for type 2. Excess weight, as I said, is the single most important cause of type 2 diabetes. Being overweight increases your chance of getting it 7-fold. If you're obese, you are 20 to 40 times more likely to get it. But the good news is losing just 7 to 10% of your current weight can cut your chances of getting diabetes in half. Achieving a healthy weight, eating a balanced carbohydrate-controlled diet, and regular exercise all help to improve blood glucose control. So that's good news. And then even walking briskly for just half an hour a day reduces your risk by 30%. So that's not too hard to do. Smokers are 50% more likely to get diabetes because it affects your heart, damages your cells. Heavy smokers are at an even higher risk. And if you have excess alcohol consumption, it's a good idea to try to decrease that because that increases your risk as well. So combining a healthy diet with exercise can help reverse diabetes or put it in remission. Nutrition is 80%, while exercise is 20%. You can't outrun a bad diet, no matter how hard you try. They are complementary and key in helping to reverse diabetes. So when I was taking my health coaching courses, I learned that it's really not necessary to follow a specific diet. You know, diets don't work for people because they tend to, get some results, then they go off the diet, then they gain the weight back, and then they, are in the same boat that they used to be in before. What we're really looking for is a lifestyle change. And the only lifestyle change that I learned that was effective is really the Mediterranean diet. So the Mediterranean diet is able to successfully put diabetes in remission without the need for medication. And they call it the Mediterranean diet, but it's really the food diet we all should be following. It's eating plenty of vegetables. It's choosing whole grain versions of starchy foods. It's replacing red meat with poultry or fish. And it's having at least 30% of your calories from fat, the right fats, which we'll talk about in a moment, particularly from olive oil. So, I mean, that's just one thing that the Mediterranean diet is known for is their use of olive oil, but there are plenty of other very high quality fats that you can get your nutrition from. So this isn't really it's not a diet where they say they're depriving you of food or telling you to eat a certain, 7 bananas a day and 7 oranges a day. Some of the crazy diets I used to go on long ago, which just weren't very healthy and weren't very sustainable. This is a diet that anybody can do. It's a lifestyle change for eating healthy. So key things to remember for your diet: we all need carbs, protein, and fats, but the right kind of carbs are critical. Carbs give you fuel. They affect your blood sugar faster than fats or protein. You get them mainly from fruit, milk and yogurt, bread, cereal, rice and pasta, and starchy vegetables like potatoes, corn, and beans. Now, I'm not saying all those carbs are good, because simple carbs are sugar. They affect your blood sugar really fast, and you try to stay away from simple carbs as much as you can. What you really want to go for are the complex carbs. They help regulate your blood sugar, help it process slowly in your body so you're not getting those sugar spikes. And that's found in beans, nuts, vegetables, whole grains. And they're better for you because they take longer for your body to digest. And they also give you steady energy and fiber. So you are more energetic. You do have great sources of fiber, and you're not hungry as easily. Simple carbs like sugar, the more you eat them, the more you want to keep eating them, because they just make you hungry, they don't fill you up, and they're not good for your body. So it's important to keep track of your carbs, the sugar and starch, and if you do have diabetes, split them evenly between meals to help control your blood sugar. So a lot of people are eating wheat, and wheat is affecting so many people. Even if you don't have celiac, a lot of people have a gluten insensitivity, and it's mainly because of the way the wheat has been processed over the years. It's just not very healthy for you. So if you are making some dietary changes, it's really important to choose whole grains over refined grains and highly processed carbohydrates. Things like bran and fiber make it more difficult for digestive enzymes to break down the starches into glucose. And this leads to slower increases in your blood sugar and insulin, and a lower glycemic index. And that's what we all want, diabetic or not. We all want a low glycemic index. As a result, they stress the body's insulin making machinery less, so it may prevent type 2 diabetes. So really, it's a good idea to switch to whole grains. And they also have essential vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals that our body needs to perform well. So the reason why fiber is so good, you get fiber from starchy plants. It helps with your digestion and your blood sugar control. You feel fuller, so you eat less, which is a plus if you need to lose weight. And you're less likely to get high blood pressure and heart disease. And diabetes can lead to high blood pressure and heart disease. So it's a good idea to eat a lot of fiber-rich foods. There are 2 sources of fiber, soluble fiber and insoluble fiber. They're both important, and there's many different sources: oatmeal and oat bran, apples, citrus fruits, strawberries, beans, peas, lentils, barley, rice bran. Those are great sources of soluble fiber. And insoluble fiber, again, nuts and beans, whole grains, whole wheat breads. If you are eating wheat, make sure it's whole wheat. Vegetables like carrots, cabbage, beets, and cauliflower. These are all great sources of insoluble fiber. Another dietary change I think Mike alluded to before is try to drink as much water as you can. And if you do want to drink other things, the other best choices are coffee or tea. And if you are drinking coffee or tea, try to limit the cream and the sugar. I switched over to tea, and I put in ginger and honey and cinnamon, and it's, I think it tastes better, and it's actually better for you. So drinking water, coffee and tea do have great properties. So if you do drink them, just try to sweeten them. If you do use sweeteners, with something more healthy, and try to drink as much water as you can. And the problem with sugary drinks is they have a very high glycemic load. They have no nutritional value. And a lot of people are using that as the majority of their calories, which leads to weight gain and lots of other issues. And there was a study for women where they showed they had an 83% higher risk if they have 1 or more sugary drinks a day as compared to having less than 1 a month. So really trying to swap out those sugary drinks is critical. And the reason it says to limit milk and dairy, we're the only species that drinks milk after we're weaned. And not only that, we're drinking another animal's milk. No other animal does that. We don't need dairy. We can get our nutrients from so many other foods, from plant foods, and dairy is highly inflammatory. So it really wreaks havoc on your immune system, and inflammation is the key, biomarker for chronic illness. So you should really try to limit your milk and dairy consumption if at all possible. There are good fats to eat and there are bad fats. Diabetes make you more likely to get heart disease. So you really want to limit your unhealthy fats, such as saturated and trans fats. Saturated fats come from cheese, again, beef, milk, and baked items. And trans fats are awful. It's partially hydrogenated oils. And even if a label says 0% trans fat, it can still have up to 0.5 gram of trans fat per serving. So don't trust the labels. Really try to stay away from any trans fats at all. And it's really important. A lot of people don't know this, but frying your foods or charring them on the grill is really not good for you. It causes damage to your cells. And when you damage your cells, you're more likely to develop chronic illnesses. So it's much better to steam your food, do it over a low heat, bake it in the oven if you have to, but charring them on the grill, frying them, those are really not good ways to consume your food. So I talked about the healthy fats. The monounsaturated fats are the best. You get it from olives, avocados, almonds, peanut butter, certain oils. I love avocado oil the best. I don't cook with a lot of oil because olive oil doesn't have a high smoke point. A lot of oils don't have a high smoke point and actually become dangerous when you cook with them for your body. Avocado has a very high smoke point. So if I ever do use oil for cooking, that's just the one I tend to use. But a lot of people are just ditching the oils in general as far as heating them. But they are great to use as salad dressings, to put on your food, marinate things. There really are good uses for oils, high quality fats. Polyunsaturated fats, they're not as bad as saturated, and they're good to eat in moderation. Even things like seeds and flaxseed and walnuts, those are really good sources of fat. So it's okay to eat those. Monounsaturated are the best, but polyunsaturated, there are good sources of those as well. But then you should really try to limit the poultry, meat, butter, milk, and cheese, and avoid the partially hydrogenated oils. They contain unhealthy trans fats, and if at all possible, avoid all sources of trans fats. And it's interesting when they talk about a food plan, there's no maximum of healthy fats you can eat. You can eat as many healthy fats as you want, and it will only benefit your body. So it's really important to limit red meat and avoid processed meat. 1 3-ounce serving of steak a day increases your risk of type 2 diabetes by 20%. And even eating smaller amounts of processed red meat, like 2 slices of bacon or 1 hot dog, increases your risk by 51%. High iron, sodium, and nitrates diminish insulin's effectiveness and damage the cells that produce insulin. Many diabetics, it can raise your risk of getting high blood pressure. So you really need to think about the salt that you're using on your food. Too much salt can add to that risk. And it's so hard because salt is in everything. It's in box mixes, it's in salad dressings, canned soups, canned vegetables, lunch meats, packaged foods. It's in everything. Some things you don't even think it's in, along with sugar. So if you're looking for a great base for meat marinades, one of my suggestions is orange or pineapple juice. So you don't really need to salt your food. And if you do love that salt flavor, I do crave salt, so I do love that salty flavor. There are so many other salt substitute blends that can actually satisfy that craving for salt. And a lot of these spices are so much better for you. They have a lot of health benefits as well, such as curry and white pepper and basil and oregano and cloves and rosemary. So there are a lot of salt substitutes that you can use. So you don't have to give up that salt flavor by giving up salt. So when you're thinking about your food plate, and this is every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's really hard to do in today's society. But when you're thinking of your food plate, it should have a lot of color because plant berries and the red help your are great for
Mary,
your.
we lost you there for a minute.
Oh, sorry. What is your last?
Why don't you start with you from the top on this slide here?
Okay. All right. Perfect. So I was just saying, with your food plate at every meal, you should think about having color and variety. And are you able to hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yes?
we hear
Okay.
you. We hear you now.
All right, perfect. Every color of the rainbow, we say for fruits and vegetables, because every color is targeted to a specific organ in your body. So for example, the red vegetables and fruits are great for your heart. The berries are great for your circulation and your blood. So it's important not just to say, oh, I had 7 bananas today. Well, that's great that you had, a lot of fruit, but you really need to have color and variety to target every organ in your body. And at every meal, fruits and vegetables should fill half of your plate. Half of your plate should be devoted to fruits and vegetables. Whole grain should fill a quarter of your plate. Barley, wheat berries, quinoa, oats, brown rice, whole wheat pasta, all of these have a milder effect on blood sugar and insulin. And then protein should fill a quarter of your plate. Beans, nuts, fish, or poultry. Limit or avoid red meat or processed meat. So if you add that up, that's your whole plate. There's no room for the processed food or the cakes or the muffins or anything unhealthy. And then in addition to that, you can have as many healthy fats as you want. But if the monounsaturated fats, the avocados, the oil, the olive oil, the nuts, those are great to have. And I highly recommend drinking water, especially if you're trying to limit the amount that you eat. Drinking a full glass of water before you eat is really beneficial to not overeat. And then also eating a serving and then waiting 20 or so minutes before you decide if you're still hungry is a great practice to get into, because it could take that long for your signal to reach your brain that you're full. So it's really a great idea not to overeat and try to wait that 20 minutes. And then if you are still hungry, then you haven't eaten enough. But if you're satisfied, then it's a great time to just walk away until your next meal. A plant-based diet has been proven. They did some studies, and people who adhered to predominantly a plant-based diet had a 23% lower risk of type 2 diabetes. And then people who ate only a plant-based diet strengthened that association even more. So I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, what food should I eat to help manage my diabetes? And there are a lot of great foods you can eat, very tasty. You can prepare them very well, but these are just some of my favorites. And these are 15 foods. If you're taking notes and you just want to jot them down, these are great foods to have to help manage your diabetes. And there's specific reasons why. Avocados are a superfood with healthy monounsaturated fats, and those fats help reduce blood sugar spikes. Barley contains a lot of soluble fiber, can reduce your blood sugar by up to 70% after a meal. Beans are a great protein alternative. They curb your blood sugar. You can eat them 2 to 3 times a week. Great for you. Blueberries are another superfood. They have a chemical called anthocyanin. It helps to maintain low blood sugar levels, increases insulin sensitivity. Broccoli has sulforaphane. It acts as an anti-inflammatory, and that's what we really want. We want anti-inflammatory foods. It helps keep our blood sugar levels low, protects our blood vessels from damage. You're at an increased risk for cardiovascular damage, so this is a great food to eat. Cinnamon has large amounts of chromium, boosts the effects of insulin. And you can use it as a seasoning, or I put it in my tea. You can put it in water. It's a great spice to use. Dark chocolate is a nice treat for people. You know, it doesn't mean you can't eat something, you know, on the sweeter side, but this says 60 to 80%. I strive for 73% or higher of the cacao bean, because that's really where you're going to get the greatest benefit. It contains flavonoids, which increase sensitivity to insulin, undermines insulin resistance, and it does help to reduce cravings. You know, if you're reaching for, you know, a snack that's not that healthy, a small piece of dark chocolate can really help reduce that craving. And then flaxseed, whole or ground, is full of good fats, fiber, and protein, has everything we need. It optimizes your blood sugar levels. And then oatmeal, you can use it as a replacement in cakes and muffins, soups or stews. It's a great breakfast. It has a lot of soluble fiber, keeps your blood sugar low. It's a great food to have. Olive oil, we talked about, rich in fats, reduces insulin resistance, prevents the blood sugar spikes. Peanut butter, almond butter, sunflower seed butter, any of those nut or seed butters, make sure they're organic with no added sugar. They're really high in monounsaturated fats. So we said those are insulin's friend, keeps you full for a long time. And quinoa is considered a superfood. It's fiber rich, protein rich, and it also boosts fat burning capacity, which is great if you're trying to lose weight. It helps prevent blood sugar spikes and keeps you full longer. And sweet potatoes, it reduces fasting blood sugar levels. You can eat them several times a week to maintain your good health. Turmeric is a great spice. It has blood sugar control, regulates metabolism of carbohydrates. You can add it to recipes. I don't personally love it. And some people take a spoonful every morning with their water. If you like the taste, it's a great way to help control your blood sugar. But you can use it in recipes and, you know, where it's not overpowering, and it is a great spice to use. And then walnuts are a great antiviral, antioxidant rich, anti-bad fat absorption snack to have. It helps curtail chronic conditions such as diabetes. And eating just 3 or 4 walnuts as a snack a couple of times a day really does help. So I think the biggest focus in our life today should be on having impeccable health. Nutrition plays a tremendous role. When we feed our bodies clean produce every day, a wide variety of the colors of the rainbow in their most nutritional form, we give our bodies an army to fight anything that begins to attack it. This is crucial to our survival. So we have the tools we need. So just a few more facts before I'm ready to close. Plant foods are critical for good health. They reduce inflammation, they detoxify our bodies, they reduce oxidative stress, and we get oxidative stress just from breathing. So you can't avoid oxidative stress, but if you eat plant foods, they're great at reducing oxidative stress. They protect our immune health, our cardiovascular health, our lung function, and so much more. This next point is surprising for so many people. We should be eating 10 servings of vine-ripened fruits and vegetables every day. And that's really hard. And that's just to maintain our health. If you're suffering from a chronic condition such as diabetes, or you exercise a lot, creating more oxidative stress, or if you're pregnant, you need 15 to 20 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And it's really, really hard to do that in today's day and age. And the quality of our produce is so much less nutritious than it used to be, which is why we really need to raise the amount of servings that we're eating. For example, in the 1950s, with 1 cup of broccoli, you would need to eat 54 cups of broccoli today to get the same amount of iron that broccoli, or calcium, one of them, that it provided you in 1950. That's incredible. 80% of the vitamin C is in the orange peel. Many people don't eat the orange peel. So you really do need to increase your servings of fruits and vegetables every day just to maintain your health. And unfortunately, with today's society, people don't have the time or the desire to cook healthy meals. So it can be really challenging. and unhealthy and highly processed foods are much more convenient and they're less expensive. So they're really not setting us up for good health in the way that we're living our lives today. So even before I took my nutritional class, I was thinking, I wish there was a way to get a bunch of fruits and veggies into capsules. Like just put them in a capsule, easy for me to take. I get the nutrition. I didn't really know what gold standard research was at the time, but when I learned that there is a way to get fruits and vegetables in a capsule with gold standard research on it, I was just blown away. So I do take these capsules for my health. And if you can just imagine getting the nutrition from over 35 plant sources every single day with the color and the variety and the vine ripened produce, you're getting thousands of phytonutrients in your body every single day with these capsules and omegas. And I just think they're incredible. It's the most thoroughly researched nutritional product in the world, and the nutrition label is key. So the reason why these capsules are good for diabetics is they have no sugar. And even if you took the soft chews, they only have 2 grams of sugar from tapioca syrup. It's vine ripened, which is important, has a nutrition label, which is important. All parts of the plant are crushed up, has so much research, and it's certified to be safe of anything harmful. And then juicing is great. You know, it has so many health benefits, but I feel like the capsules have done all that for you. They did all the juicing, plus it's completely safe. So that's why I love the capsules. I think a spoonful of prevention is, if we can just prevent, we would not be spending trillions of dollars a year on healthcare, which is crazy to me. We're spending all that money. So I just think that, you know, you can get such balanced nutrition in high quality ways. The last 2 things I want to mention are the smoothies, which are low glycemic, which is great for diabetics, great source of soluble and insoluble fiber, protein, ancient grains, all the amino acids your body needs. And it has a perfect score for protein quality, vegan, gluten-free, and NSF certified. And the bars are great balanced nutrition as well, made with real chocolate pieces, figs, seeds, grains, sprouts, tart cherries, protein and fiber, low glycemic again. And if you want to grow your own, there is an aeroponic growing system where you can grow your own vine ripened produce indoors and out. It's really incredible, and I love mine. So a free resource, if you wanted to take this down, there is a free resource called the healthylivingrevolution.com, and it has tons of e-cookbook recipes. So if you just don't know what to cook, what's healthy, what spices to buy, that kind of thing, this resource is great. It also has exercise videos, it has tips for kids. It's really like an all-inclusive resource for anything pertaining to health. How to be able to drink more water, exercise more, you know, sleep more. It just has lots of great information on there. So here's your homework for the week. See if you can adopt just one healthy change this week, just one, and then try to build on it each week after that. And some suggestions are: add 1 more fruit or vegetable to your plate. Swap out a sugary drink for water. Try to add more water to your day. Aim for 8 hours of sleep. Exercise, do whatever makes you happy. Go on a walk, dance, strength train, cardio, do whatever. Or practice some mindfulness or meditation. The mind is powerful. It really helps reduce your stress levels. And again, increase those feel-good hormones, decrease those bad hormones. So mindfulness and meditation, taking time for yourself, are really beneficial. So these are just some suggestions. I'd love to hear what else you've come up with to try to adopt just one of these this week, and then just try to build on it. Start with one simple change and then just try to build on it as you go about your day and your week. So this is my email, my website. I am so happy to offer tips on nutrition and overall ways to stay healthy at no cost. I feel like I just love inspiring healthy living, and I do this for free. I just love to talk to people about ways they can stay healthy And I really do feel like together we can create a safer, healthier, happier environment for all of us. We do have the tools at our disposal, and there is an easy, simple way to do that. It just takes a little time, a little effort, a little patience, but it can be done. And that is it. Thank you.
That was awesome, Mary. If you could give me back
Oh,
the host.
okay. Okay, there you go.
All righty.
Anyone have any questions? Yes.
I am shocked that those little capsules can contain fruits and vegetables. And your comment about you really need to increase like to 10 servings a day, how does that relate to the capsules? Is it one capsule is one serving, or how does that relate?
So it's 2 capsules a day is the serving size. And years ago, when they started the research in the 90s, they kind of like, people are like, well, how much does that equate to?
Yeah.
And, you know, they did say at one point it was like 5 servings, but they don't say that anymore, because when you take the capsules, because they work in synergy, you're getting so much more benefit than just a serving size. You're getting so many different benefits in your body that you aren't expecting. You know, like,
No, I eat the gummies and they're awesome. I
yeah,
eat,
they taste delicious.
yeah.
But you know, people will say, well, how come strawberries aren't in your berry blend? Strawberries are so good for you. And the biochemist says, because they just wouldn't work with the other fruits and vegetables that are in that blend. So they're really careful to target the fruits and vegetables that work well, not only alone, but with each other, that work in synergy with each other and target certain organs in your body. And the fact that they crush up the peel and the pit and the seeds and the rind and the flowers and the stem, like, that's incredible. And then to have research to back it up is just amazing. So, yes.
Does it have a taste? I mean, can you open the capsule and sprinkle it over something?
You can. But they have I have to warn you, they have a strong flavor,
Okay,
because you're eating a combination
Yeah,
of 30
yeah.
different fruits, vegetables, and berries. So
Right.
they're very easy to swallow.
Okay.
And as Mike said, he does the gummies. The gummies are the
I
same,
do that. I have them.
But-
I have them for lunch. They're
but
awesome.
they taste
Right.
But you know what? I take the capsules, but I use the gummies as a snack. You
yeah.
know, when you're talking about
Yeah,
healthy,
it sounds like a snack, yeah.
yeah, I have them as healthy snacks.
Yeah.
And you know, kids' vitamins have a poison control warning label.
Yeah.
Who wants to give their kids vitamins that have a warning label?
Oh,
You know, these are good for pregnant women. You know, they're good for anybody. So, and they're bioavailable. They get absorbed. And that's
Okay.
really what you want.
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Anything else?
Kevin, you've been pretty quiet. Do you have, or Kelvin, do you have any questions or comments? Oh, you're
still
on mute.
muted. You're still muted, Kelvin.
Oh, he's having trouble unmuting.
I don't know. We're having
see.
trouble hearing you, Kelvin.
Yeah. Just needs to
I'll ask
unmute.
him to unmute one more time. Let's see.
Yeah. It's hard. Is he able to? You didn't take away that capability, did you?
I don't think I put it on today unless it just stays as that.
Oh. Yeah, that's okay. I was just curious.
Well, that's okay. But Mary, that truly was a comprehensive presentation. It really, showed people that they can control their own destiny. It's not easy. There's a lot of things on there that people will shake their heads and say, "I can't
Mhm.
do that."
Right,
But that's where the power of a group can help. You know
right.
what I mean? You get into the Facebook group and you help each other. You cheer each other on. You share your stories and your challenges and what are you doing to, change your diet, because that's the hardest thing to change for
Right.
anybody. I know it is for me. I've done a pretty good job over the years weaning things down, but I haven't eliminated all the things that I love to eat. And
Yeah,
my third chin keeps saying, if you want to lose me, you have to stop eating that steak once a week. And
yeah,
it's one of those things. But it really truly is valuable information for people, battling with type 2 diabetes, because it
Right.
really is a lifestyle change that if they want to live a good long life, you got to embrace it.
I am having my first grandchild on Friday and I want to live forever. I just really, and it depends on what the motivators are. For me, my motivation is my kids and my family. I want to be healthy for them. So you really do need a motivator, and finding out what's important is really a good motivator. Yes.
Just a comment. I mean, I know this session has been emphasizing the importance of doing things to control or prevent diabetes, but it's not just diabetes, because I don't
No.
have diabetes, but I can see it relating to my own
It does.
different physical health
Right.
issues.
It
I mean, it's
applies to health in general.
It's
Yeah.
everything. It's not just
Everything. Yep.
diabetes.
Everything I spoke about is critical for any chronic illness.
Exactly.
Any chronic
exactly.
illness or disease. But, diabetics in particular have to
Yeah.
control their blood sugar.
Yeah,
But, anything that causes damage to cells
right.
can cause illness or
Any
disease.
immune disorder or
Right.
whatever.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, if the trends continue, type 2 diabetes is going to be the worst problem for the people in the U.S. because,
Yeah.
we are an overweight society, and we're inundated, with television commercials telling us to have that sugary power
Yep.
drink and that sugary cereal and those, snacks and all those things, and, the food industry, if you ask me, the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry, they're
Yep.
all in bed with each other, putting us into these conditions and then putting us on drugs to take care of it, to control it, and everyone's on lifelong meds, like on the radio, Big Lou,
Right.
he's on meds too,
Right.
Yeah.
it's almost comical, but it's the truth, so,
Yeah.
but we can, with some willpower and some group community help, we can start to make a difference.
Yeah.
We can.
And that's why, I just love helping people along their journey. I'm one of 10 kids. I'm right in the middle. I've always been a helper. I have a psychology degree, a teaching degree, and I just really, really like to help people.
I was a
So-
middle child and I was just a pain in the ass. Guess.
Really? No, I was the caretaker. So honestly, anybody listening to this, I am just happy to be a source of support for anybody who's looking for answers or just accountability.
That's excellent. Mary, thank you so much. If there isn't anything else, we'll let you go. I know you have, lots of things on your plate, including rainbow colored fruits and vegetables.
Exactly.
But
That was a good one.
we'll lead into tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have a guy with us. His name is Jim Spencer, and Jim is a recognized worldwide expert on glutathione. Now, a lot of people don't even know what glutathione is, but it is an important molecule in your body. And Jim trains doctors and scientists, and he's been doing it for 25 years, and he truly is just a wealth of knowledge. So if you can get here tomorrow, try to get here tomorrow. And then, the videos are all going to be on the Facebook group. If you can't make it at 2, they'll be in there in the Facebook group and you can watch them. And, with that, I'll let everybody go. Thanks for coming out today. I'm excited. This has been fun. And Mary, once again, that was just awesome. And thank you so much for all that information, all that work you put into that.
Thank you. It was
That-
great.
Welcome.
That was truly
Very interesting.
remarkable. So
Happy
I'm
to
going to
help.
attempt here to end with, we got the power. I'm gonna put the screen back up and share, and we're gonna go back to the main screen, and then we're going to find our music and play our
Компьютеров
music.
персональный спутник.
All right, bye, everybody.
We do. We got the power, everybody.
Oh, yeah. All right, see you later.
All right. Thanks for coming out, everybody. 'Cause we do have the power. Might not have any rhythm, but we got the power. All right, let me stop here. Why is it so difficult to stop shit? All right, let me stop the music. All right. Kelvin, did you find a way to unmute yourself? All right, do you see, does anything come up and say, ask you to unmute? I was having trouble with my mouse too. Huh? Let me see if it lets me unmute you. No, it doesn't let me. Let me see. Ask to unmute.